Hey guys, welcome back here to Pro League live at the Nexon Arena. Everything's all tied up between these two teams, MVP and Samsung Galaxy Con. We're about to jump into our third game, Losira versus Deer.
And it's been a while since we've seen Losira play his ZVP. Also one of these interesting styles. You know, Losira naturally very greedy as a Zerg player. And it has been the kind of style that's gotten him in a lot of trouble in the past. But he also looks fantastic doing it if he is allowed to go into that mid game as a very greedy player. It's going to be up to Deer to kind of stop him short, you know, try and apply that pressure and stop the drones just being produced in ridiculous amounts.
Yeah. Let's see what Deer's got prepared for today. So far, we talked a little bit about his inconsistency. I feel like that's because at times, even though you see here it's like 50%, it's not terrible, but it's like he goes on a win streak of like 3 wins, and then he takes 3 losses, and 3 wins, 3 losses. And it's over like a decent period of time, especially in Pro League, because you can only play once a week. So
yeah.
It's like he plays 1 week, and then the next week he loses again, So you're losing for 3 weeks in a row, and then you're winning for 3 weeks in a row. It gets you very streaky, and that's kind of the impression I get from Deer.
Yeah, I get that impression too, Valdez. When I look at this guy's face, I'm like, you got glasses on and you win games and you lose games.
Uh-oh.
Fighting consistently. But this guy, Immortal from Thomas Bergerson, no idea what the song is. 9-6 though this season. 1-1 against Protoss so far. And, you know, he is the ace player for MVP. Yeah. He's been losing to Dark a lot recently, actually, in all his televised matches. He lost to him in, I think it was Kesper Cup even. And even in Pro League. He's like been taking losses in every direction from Dark, of all people.
Dark's just becoming his rival day by day. He's going to get death stared down by Losira the next time they play against each other. Losira, he went 5-1 in round 1 and then 4-4 in round 2. So definitely had a better start to Pro League. Let's see if he can go better on the odd rounds here, starting things off in round 3.
Soon to find out, Valdez. Expedition Lost. Pretty interesting map for ZVP. We see so many games just go into that Mass Blink Stalker Sentry style up against the Zerg player. Up to the Zerg to kind of deflect it. Let's see what Losira has planned on this map.
Well, let's take a look at the predictions as well. The 3 foreign casters, Team Salmon, stands strong once again. And we got the caster in the middle there, the MC for the Korean desk on our side this time. But Kanata and Yudahyun are on Deer's team.
Indeed they are, Valdez. Team Deer. Well, let's see. Maybe they know something we don't. I think the middle caster just goes for whatever he feels in his heart and nothing else.
He's channeling a bit of that wolf in him, you know, using that shamanistic religion. But guys, let's jump into game 3, Deer versus Losira. Up here in the top right, in the blue, our Protoss player from Samsung Galaxy Con, it is Deer.
Down here in the bottom left, for MVP, we do have the player Losira. The Piano Zerg is his new name, Valdez.
Is it?
I don't know if he actually has a nickname, but I think that should be it, considering his APM is usually insane.
Yeah. He is probably the fastest clicker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Him and Sue, right? They're
Sue
both
is very
fast.
Sue is very fast, surprisingly fast, actually. I thought he'd be a bit slower for some reason. I think it's just because I think he looks older.
he gives you that impression.
So
he doesn't wear glasses, so he seems a bit slower.
I don't know.
Is that the feel you get when they
gives me that Ness T sort of vibe from him. Like he's like that older, young kind of guy.
I get that vibe too.
But he's not. He's like 20 or something. He's like sick young, man. He's like way too young.
I think he's 1 year younger than me. I'm 23 right now.
Yeah, you're too young,
Still
Valdez.
pretty young.
You're way too young, Valdez.
Still a youngin'.
All right. She is going for which player? It says MC down there. All right, this one's going for MVP, so Losira.
So she must have been going for Deer.
Yeah, that must be it.
She was talking about the MC, the caster. Didn't quite get to read it.
Right. He's talking about me, actually.
Yeah.
Like that guy up there with the long hair. Pretty rivaled by it.
Meet me after.
No,
let's get some soju.
Oh, proxy hatchery from Losira there in the natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it because he saw that it was going to be Nexus first, so he's like, okay.
Yeah, definitely Nexus first there. And big mistake from Deer not paying attention to this drone. And it's going to be up to Deer to try and block the natural of Losira. See if he gets something happening. It's going to commit a lot of probes to canceling this.
Yeah, and even a pylon in the natural. Losira just going to throw down a spawning pool. Try to get some lings up to deal with this probe and that pylon.
Gets down the evolution chamber as well, so it's going to be delayed for a little while longer.
Losira, he's got those fast fingers. He knows what to do with them.
He
Get that Evo chamber down very fast.
He does, Valdez, and there we go. He's going to continue to block for now. And
oh, man.
Yeah. Interesting start.
Oh, he's trying to go for another hatch block.
Imagine he got that. That'd be so tilting.
We've seen it before. I think it was Life who did it to a Protoss. I forget exactly the game. It was a while ago. But it was kind of embarrassing.
Drone's coming back. Oh! He could have actually right-clicked it. It was on 3 HP.
Yeah.
Deer being safety first. This drone's going to remain.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Deer did not keep tabs on this drone, so it's going to be able to get a proxy hatch down in the main. Let's see if it even goes to check for it, because we got lings on the way, and Losira's going for this.
Oh, I like this a lot. I'm going to see more of that proxy spine crawler shenanigans. It just is absolutely insane.
Oh, he is going to scout it, though.
Oh.
Very fortunate for Deer.
All right. Well, let's see what Losira does from here, because he's got to have a contingency. He's like, okay, my proxy hatchery got scouted. How do I do this? How do I react to this? I'm so interested to see what he will do. And he's still chasing a probe on the map with a drone. It's just so funny.
The one thing that Losira does have going for him with that proxy hatch in the main is that the gateway of Deer is very late, and all he's got is a forge and probes to deal with this, so he has to put down a cannon, and he's forcing out a bunch of buildings to deal with this proxy hatch. Maybe he can like force that cannon to finish and then cancel it. Could still possibly get some value out of this guy.
Let's see. So at least, yeah, forcing out that cannon, as you were saying, and could cancel it from here. Wouldn't be... it'd still be a bit of a waste. He's still going to lose a bit of money from this. There we go. Lost a bit.
Deer lets the cannon finish, though.
Yeah, big mistake from Deer.
I guess he's going to have that for the back door a little bit later on, but...
Yeah, you probably want to expand down there at one point. That's usually the place you take your third naturally on this map. Kill the rocks, expand down there. So the cannon will eventually be pretty useless. He's probably intended to cancel it, so a bit of a mistake there. He's actually getting this rock tower down.
Committing to it heavily, actually, in the face of a Zealot. And not even care. So, bit of a funky start to this game, but we may be able to see a bit of a transition from both players and just go into a bit of normalcy from here. Already see a third base coming down from Losira.
Yeah, second gas added as well. This pretty early on. Might be trying for some aggression, or at least just trying to go for a fast speed or lair. 2 gases. Still got a lot of dreading to do on these extra 2 bases as well. We'll see what his plan is. I think he plans to just drone hard, though, judging by the fact that he did kill those rocks outside the natural Deer. Trying to buy a bit more time. But look at this. The Twilight Cancel is going to be missed.
Oh, man, that is so close. It is right outside the radius of his vision. Oh, he sees it.
Oh, he just sees it.
But he doesn't click it. So he knows there's a building coming down, but I'm not sure he knows exactly what it is.
Okay.
So, from Losira, at the same time, we are going to see that lair you were talking about and a Rotoran coming down.
Yeah, so you're going to go into fairly quick roaches and getting the link speed at the same time. Just continuing to drone hard. He scouted enough, I think, to kind of warrant him not being too worried about what could be coming his way. He's like, yeah, I got a fair look. I didn't see any extra gates. I did see a tech building, though he didn't click on it, so he doesn't know for sure what it's going to be. No +1 just yet, Valdez. It's something I'm kind of interested in. Normally, when you see Blink go down like this, you want +2 with your Blink Stalkers. It's kind of like the standard, and it makes them so much more efficient getting that +2 against Zerg in general. So
sure.
the fact that we're not seeing any attack upgrades being researched so far is kind of surprising to me.
Did you see what Losira did there at the third base? He was pulling all the drones to not show the probe how many he had mining.
Oh,
what do you think about that?
That's genius. I love that.
That is so smart. You do lose some mining time, but that information is more important to keep away from your opponents.
Yeah, well, you want to keep away as much information as you possibly can, and even that is so threatening. It's like, well, he's just actually going for an empty third base. He's being very aggressive right now. So if Deer was looking into it, if he was reading into it, it's kind of like also the assumption that Deer is really on point and he's playing very well and he's super observant and he actually saw that there was no drones there. He's like, okay, there's no drones there. I got to be very defensive. Or he could have completely missed it in general and just be like, you know what, I'm going to go for a Set3 drop anyway.
Yep. Well, look at this. We got this Warp Prism coming in. I think there's like 7 gates out on the map. He does get a force field down, but 2 queens here are going to push that Warp Prism away.
Yeah, he's going to not even going to commit to the back of it. And Warp Prism did take a bit of damage. You know, he's down to 83 HP. Look at this. He's warping in the back.
Okay. So he will commit to a bit, but already a Hydra Den done, and he's grouped up these Hydras, something very important.
This is interesting. He's got to be so careful. Cannot afford to get this ramp force fielded from either side, because then the Blink Stalkers will just march on in. And what's he going to commit to?
Oh, he's going to try to get the force fields down. He gets them down, and all these units are going to be forced back into the natural.
Oh, man.
And as long as he can keep those force fields up, he can put heavy pressure on that third base.
Yeah.
Oh, this is terrible for Losira right now.
Yeah, this is a big problem. Granted, these are Stalkers that are completely upgraded there. Maybe he can survive just on 2 base against this kind of attack. A lot of force fields left over as well, at least 5, soon to be 6.
And he continues to get them down one after another. The one thing Losira does nicely here at that third base is he saves all the drones to the bottom right, so he still has a pretty heavy drone count, but he does lose that hatchery.
He does indeed, and here we go. You're going to start pushing it up. Not many force fields left over, so he's going to have to make do with this big attack. We are going to see a bit of a sandwich from Losira.
Yeah, trying to bring in Lings from the back. A very nice time warping, some good force fields, but here we go. The Hydra's coming from the right side as well. The drone's even fighting here, tanking for the Hydra's, doing a ton of damage. Very, very close fight between these two.
Yeah, can't give away too many drones, though. Otherwise, it's going to be much more favored for Deer. That's a good composition, though, for Losira. You just got to trade well. Make sure they're on creep at least. He cannot be fighting out here unless he starts to deal with this rock tower. Cuts him off and gives him some more time.
Look at how many drones have gone down. 24.
Yeah.
He's down to 38 drones. He only has a 2-base economy now against a 2-base Protoss, who's making only these Blink Stalkers. Did he ever get that upgrade, by the way? No.
No, he never ever got that upgrade, Valdez. So he's sitting on unupgraded Stalkers. And if Losira just sits in his natural, just makes a pretty sizable army, he should be okay against this. His Blink Stalkers alone, without any upgrades, are not going to do that well against this many Hydra.
Losira going to take down those rocks, the rock tower, buy himself a little bit of time at least.
All right, 2 more sentries have been added to this mix as well. Very important against the Hydra composition. You have to have force fields unless you have like an overwhelming amount of units.
Yep. He's got 5 sentries in total so far, so those guys being just warped in. He's got 5, and now he's got him trapped in his natural. He's going to go check here at the third base, see that there is no base. And I guess he's just okay to sit here. Maybe he's going to force a fight, but that's a lot of Hydras.
Yeah, it is a lot of Hydras. He's not getting up there anytime soon. At this point, it might even be smart for Deer to transition. I like the Immortals, but I prefer Colossus. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Colossus would be such a great mix in this unit composition.
He's already forced out so many Hydras from Losira.
Yeah, and if you're keeping him on 2 base, it's going to be so hard for him to get the natural counter, which is either Corruptor or Viper. If you can't afford them, then there's no way you're going to deal with a Death Ball with Colossus involved.
That one Overlord is buying Losira so much time on that third base of the Protoss. It's pretty unbelievable.
Uh-oh. Hydra's caught out. Bit of a weird place for Losira to be. Not paying attention to his whole army. And we are going to see him attempt to get that third base up. Oh, got to be careful there. Oh, look at that force field. Oh, this is such a hard map to play on. Look at this. That's so difficult. And he's going to lose a chunk of his Hydras.
Just fighting alone, those Hydras, and he can't even push down and try to take a fight. Even Deer with so many Blink Stalkers now, he may even want to force it himself. He cuts that army in half.
going to try, and he probably will have to pull back eventually, but he's getting some nice trades.
Another nice force field comes down, but still a lot of hydras on top of the ramp.
Oh, a blink forward. Is that going to be enough? It should just be with these Zealots helping out as well. He might have enough to overwhelm.
Looks like it. Just not enough DPS here from Losira. He's going to lose all of his drones on the natural too, and just more and more warpins on 7 gates. And there you have it. The Protoss pushes in. Looks like he should be able to take this game.
Yeah, he should be. Those force fields are amazing at the ramp of the natural. Just picking off so many units, giving such an advantage for Deer.
GG. Deer wins the game and brings Samsung ahead 2-1.
Wow. All right. I knew it'd be Stalker Sentry Valdez. I call it,
yeah,
man.
No surprise there.
The way he used this map, though, was so good. Like, I love the fact that he really opened up the back door, created such an awkward place for Losira to try and defend from. It's nearly impossible to keep a third base up when you're defending from 2 angles, and like if you're out of position once, you get force fielded off completely. It's such a hard map to play on in those kind of situations.
Oh, yeah. He abused it quite well. Really got to hand it to Deer there. He came in very, very prepared for the map. Maybe he was even saying to himself, like, hey, Azur's probably going to come out as Expedition loss. I know exactly how to deal with this. Just stays on 2 base, makes 7 gates, and just goes for that composition, and it's just so hard to deal with. He doesn't even make upgrades. No. He just gets a lot of stalkers and puts down good force fields.
That's all you need, apparently.
That's the game.
Yeah. Pretty tricky map. Next matchup's going to be Bravo against Marine King Valdez.
Uh-oh. Not a good place to be in for MVP.
No,
Marine
not at
King,
all.
Coming off the back of just not a good time for himself the past month or two, and he's going up against a guy who is very, very strong in TBT.
He's only strong at TBT, which is the funny thing too. Like, they had to bank on him getting a Terran because he has not performed in the other matchups at all. And yeah, as you said, Marine King coming off a copious amount of drama after that Spinecrawler rush.
Incident.
That incident.
The Spinecrawler incident.
Pretty much exactly what it was. Yeah. A lot of accusations thrown his way, losing his team captaincy as well.
Poor Marine King. He's just been through hell just the recent couple of months. And let's see what he's got prepared for us today. Maybe he's, taking a bit of break, of course. Maybe he's going ahead and practicing a bunch. And maybe he can show us a new Marine King coming into round 3.
Maybe. I hope so, fellas. It is a TBT. It should be an interesting one. Map.